be right back. It's all dead. What's up, everybody? I'm gonna give my thoughts on what I think I'm gonna do for a giveaway if we can get up to 500 subs in just a second. I'm trying to get my iPad good here so I can actually read stuff and still do work. What's up, everybody? I'm just trying to get my iPad up real quick so I can read the chat without having to constantly put my phone up. If you would, give me a like so it'll like share the stream and get a bunch of people in here. So we hit 500 subs tonight. I'll do it tonight. I'll give it away tonight. I'll show you what I'm gonna give away. I've 3D printed a ton of figures. I made my own gachapon pretty much. Give me a like. Don't make me beg you. I will if I have to. How's everybody doing tonight? Just wait on this thing to decide to load. I've got a couple of ideas. I'm waiting on this to load, but I'll show you a couple of ideas. We painted them the other day on stream. I'm thinking do a few different giveaways. I'm thinking, let's see. Is there anybody out there? I see there's a bunch of people watching, but ain't nobody talking. I've got these little dudes. Oh, they're out of the range. So I've got these little dudes. I was thinking about giving away one of these little fellas if we hit 1,000, because they're just going to cost me a little bit more to ship. He's like a prototype. I'll change him around before I actually get to that point with him. Or I'm looking for my stuff. Where has me? Oh, there it is. I've got. You guys tell me what you think. You fantastic people that joined in right off the bat. What's up, Lucy? How you doing? I'm getting my iPad up. It finally came up here. There's the door now. Oh, that's an old text. I'm doing pretty good. I'm gonna be up all night tonight doing some work. Let me see. Trying to grow the old channel here and at the same time get some work done on my business. Help you. How can I help you? There's no way if this is legitimate, you get off your phone and actually call. I have no idea how to get anybody to you there, Sandra. Oh, that sucks, Lucy. I hate your account got hacked. For real, Sandra, if you're being serious, you need to, I don't know why you're on YouTube. Where are you located at, Sandra? Are you in the U.S.? I would have talked to you if you're playing around. I would have talked to you either way. You don't have to do stuff like this. If you're in the U.S., it's 911. I don't know where it is anywhere else. If you're being serious, and I hope you're not. If you're being serious, seriously, hang up and dial that number if something like that's going on to the screen right there is happening to you. But yeah, I know, Lucy. I don't know. What am I supposed to say to that? How am I not supposed to say? I'm not gonna act like it's not a joke, but what the heck? Way to. Yeah, I know. I agree. What if it's some... I do get a lot of little kids. If that's happening to you, Sandy, and I'm not telling you to. You need to do it if you need to. That's just the number I'm telling you. Don't get crazy with that. Don't abuse that. I hope that's not happening to you. Anyway... Before we get derailed here, I hope that's not happening to you. Pray to God. But anyway, if everybody leave me a don't. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm gonna give away. They're not massive or huge or anything like that. It's just 500 subs. But if I can get to 500 subs, me and my wife were talking about it. I want to do something because one, it incentivizes people to come and sub, and two, I just want to give things away anyway. I give these away with all of my packages that I send out in the mail, but here's just like a couple of them. There's like, I've got like 27 different kinds right now. They're tiny little, I made my own little gachapons. So I'm trying to get it where you can see it good, but they're a little high detail. Like this one is a teeny tiny little gecko. And then this one is, I do have like a couple of Pokemon. This one's Bulbasaur. And then I've got them in all kinds of different colors. These are just a couple of them that I have. I've got Gengar, I've got a bunch of stuff. But I've got 27 different kinds of them. And what I'm gonna do is, if we get to 500 subs, I'm going to give them away, give 5 of them away. I'll send them to you. You don't have to pay anything or anything like that. I'll figure out how to do the sweepstakes and everything. Or not sweepstakes, but the giveaway to where you don't have to pay anything. As long as you're inside the U.S. They do look like gummies. They're not edible. I put that on the listing too. But they look way higher quality, higher detail if you see them in person. But I'm going to give away like 5 of those and send them to you. To one person if we hit 500 subs. But and if we hit, I was thinking about, you tell me what you think, and tell me what you think about that, because it's not gonna cost me a crazy amount of money to do that. I don't have a whole lot of money to spend on something like that right now. Deliver Shawnee and Meeker. Is that in the United States? If it's in the US, yes. If it's not in the US, I'll have to get a little bit more. Yeah, if it's in the US, then yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll send them to there. If you win, you gotta help me. You gotta like the video and help me get some subs, because we gotta get to 500. We're at like 167 right now. And if we hit 1,000, I was thinking about giving away one of these things. Or actually, I was even thinking about doing some more in Oklahoma. Too late? Yeah, no, Oklahoma. No, you're not too late. I haven't done it yet. I'm not going to do it until we hit 500 subs. I haven't hit it yet. But, no, you'll still win. All I'm going to do is when I hit 500 subs, if it's on this video, it'd be awesome. We'll do it. Anybody who commented on this video, I'll put you in a drawing and we'll do it off of it. Or if it's in another video, if we hit it later on, then I'll announce it and put it in a post. Well, I appreciate it. I hope it does. But I'll put it in a post, that way if you've already subscribed, you can come and comment on that video or comment on that post. And then I'll pick somebody out of that to win. I appreciate it, I really do. I pray for the poor individual that had to call whatever the popo a minute ago. I hope that ain't real. That bothers me about that. But if we hit 1,000, I was thinking about either giving one of these away, one of these guys, because I 3D printed and painted and wired him up and everything, but maybe giving one of these away, or either getting you guys to help me paint one on stream, because I did that the other day. And if we'll paint one of the ones that I'll have one ready to paint, we'll paint it on stream, and then I'll give it away. I gotta glue the eyes into him. But I got a frog, and all of these could be in the gachapon too. They're just small, little, tiny ones. But I also I've got these that I gotta paint. So we could do one of these too and give him away. And I'm thinking about if I can actually get some people. I am a man. I'm not gonna get all into that though. There could be kids in here. I don't want to talk about all kinds of stuff like that, especially if you say giveaway. Kids like to come to that. I don't want to, I don't have any mods, unfortunately. Maybe we'll get to that point one day. If you're hanging out and watching, I hate to even ask, but if you leave me a like, it'll make more people, it makes the channel come up more, and it'll make more people come and hopefully stop by and hang out. But I got this little guy. We can paint him. I 3D printed him. We could paint this little T-Rex fella. I've already done all the shadowing on him and the little guy. Or this will actually, that's the same T-Rex, but I've got these guys, and then I've even got a little gecko fella. But like I said, I mean, what do you guys think? Would that be cool enough to do it like 1,000? If I got up to 1,000 subs? Give away one of these fellas, or either give away, and you wouldn't have to pay anything. Like I said, it wouldn't be anything crazy. You just comment on the video, and I'll have a thing randomly pick one person out of it and give it away to them. All right. I do streams where I paint. I can't paint tonight, unfortunately. I have to make money. So I'm gonna do some eBay listings tonight and chat with you guys, but I even have, I've even done some other paintings too, which I could give one of these away for all that matters. It's the same enough to me. But I've got to paint this one. This is Athena. She's pretty cool. I've already did the shadowing on her, but I haven't finished painting her yet. She's pretty high detail. I mean, if somebody I could really just give you your pick of whatever you wanted out of all the stuff. If we can get to that point. If you're just tuning in, give me a like. If we get to 500 subs, I'm gonna give something away for free. You don't have to pay anything. If you're inside the US. If you're outside of the US, you gotta let me get it bigger than that, because I can't afford it at the moment for shipping. Hey, welcome back. I see you changed things there. But really, in all honesty, it could be any of these things. It's whatever you guys, I'd probably just give you the choice. You just pick whatever you wanted. I gotta glue these eyeballs in. These eyeballs are driving me crazy. I gotta paint them first, but. Anyway. We'll do like a stream where I paint them, and then you can pick from there whichever one that I've painted that you like. This is Lust from Full Metal Alchemist too, so she's pretty cool. You could have her. I don't really care. if you want, you could pick it out of all of them for all it matters. Prepared for your mom to shame you? Why would your mom shame you? There's like a ton more. There's a... Hi, well thanks for stopping by. If you like the video, make sure you check out. When I get to 500 subscribers, I promise I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm gonna give away these first, and 1,000 we're gonna give away the others. But here's some more of those things. It'd be random, but I got a little shark guy, a little shark man. Thanks, I appreciate it. I got a little tiny Bulbasaur. That's another one of those, but I even got a little tiny one of the little T-Rex guy, little fellow there. Try to get it where you can actually see it. Got a little Clefairy, a few Pokemon, and then a few originals, like this little chameleon fella. See if you can see that guy. They've got all the little details on there too. You can see better if you had them in person. I got a Mudkip, a little teeny tiny fox. But I got them in all different colors. So, if you like and sub, if you like, it'll bring more people in here. And if you sub, you get me one more closer to 500 and we'll do the giveaway. So, make sure you like and sub so we can do the giveaway. And if we get to a whole 1,000, you can pick whatever you want out of all of these little dudes, plus Lust from Full Metal Alchemist, Athena. If we get to 10,000, which would be forever in 2 days from now, I'm sure. I'll paint this big fella. And one of you beautiful people can have, oh, it's spit everywhere. One of you beautiful people can have him. But, you know, that's a long way from now. That'll be a minute. Unless you guys are just amazing and somehow magically get me 10,000 subs popped up. But I want to paint. I want to paint stuff, and I want to give it away. Do you work at Walmart downtown? I think I know you. I do not work at Walmart. I don't have a real job. I am a bum. I do this for a living. I sell things on eBay. What part of downtown? Where are you? Where's my doppelganger at? Who are you talking about, Nick Thompson? And if you haven't liked, please do that already. That big fella. You can't even see it. I don't have a good, you can't see it real good on here. It is, and he's got part of his cape is sitting over there, but it's Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate. He took like probably a week and a half to print. He took forever to print. He is huge. He's made out of resin. Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. No. No, I am in the deep south of Alabama. So, I do not work at the Walmart. That fella that you see over there must be a handsome gentleman, though. That's all I can say. So all I can say is the dude that you've been, they hire some pretty good-looking people at your Walmart. But for after the fact purposes, leave me a comment, or now, what one you would want to see given away if we got to 1,000. Because I want to do some stuff like this. I want to give stuff away. I have to have incentive to do it though. You know, you give me a little scratch, I'll scratch you. I mean, that didn't sound right, but you know what I mean. But, you know, some of these guys, I got some goblins. I hand paint all these, and we do it on live stream sometimes. I can't do it tonight. I got to work tonight, but I have to actually do this. I have to do the good old eBay bits, which is my main business. But give us a like and subscribe, and you might you'll get a chance to win one of these fellas at 1,000, and then the little minis that I showed at 500. Thunder Bay, Ontario. Also, what should we do with the channel? I have so many things that I want to do, but I don't want to get all over the place and it get to the point of where I've muddied the channel up and nobody wants to watch it. I want to do something that the majority of people enjoy. I've got a lot of things that I could do. I'm pulling up my stream right now so I can see. I gotta see, there we go. I gotta be able to see the chat on here because I have to get off this part on my phone so I can see it. But I got a lot of things I could do. I've got, and I'm gonna grab stuff and start working. I've got a few different things we could. I want to do maybe on the weekends. I can do, I've got to split things up to where it's realistic. So right now I work totally for myself. It's not working out fantastically, and I've got, that's why I'm having to do this right now on stream. I've got to take pictures of clothing and get them sold. But, because if I don't work and do work, for myself. It's the beauty of working for yourself. If you don't do the work, you don't get paid. So I've got stuff like this. I do eBay resale. I buy up a bunch of clothes that I think are cool and vintage and just neat, and I sell them online on eBay. So I could do like some videos, and I've already made one video. I haven't posted it yet because I gotta stop when I need to just post it. I've been super picky about it, trying to be a perfectionist and crap. You can't do that, but I've got one video on like tips and tricks on doing your own eBay business, or just like selling clothing online and looking for clothing to sell if you want to get into something like that. I've got to do a massive amount of renovations on the apartment I live in that we own. So that's one thing I could do a bunch of videos on. And then I also have behind me, I mean, this is an old skating rink. This used to be a skating rink up until like a couple of years ago. So there's an entire skate floor out there that's 1000% full of arcade games, like just boatloads of arcade games. I could do videos on repairing them because some of them need repair and some of them need like maintenance and stuff. I could do videos on, let's see, somebody said, what up, man? Welcome back. I see now. For some reason, I hadn't scrolled down yet. What's up, man? I'm trying to get opinions on stuff. But I was going to say, like, what kind of videos that people would want to see me do. God, it keeps going up and down. There'll be like 8 people and then 5 people. At least there's people in here. But I could do stuff on arcade games. There's probably 300, maybe more than that, arcade games out there on the skate floor. Videos about like the old days of the skating rink, because I ran it for a bunch of years. I grew up in it. My parents bought it when I was 10 years old, and I worked it for like the last 5 years we were open. So there's that. I got plenty of stories from it. And then there's the 3D printing and the painting. I do like to do that. That's like a hobby of mine. So I don't know. I was thinking about doing a little bit of a collective of several things. Maybe on, is this women's or men's? Women's. Maybe on like the weekends, trying to do 3D printing and painting, like painting streams. And if we, if I can get to the point where I can make a little bit of money, at least enough to pay for sending stuff out, I could, whatever we painted on stream, I could just give away to somebody who watched the stream and commented. I think that'd be pretty cool. That's something I thought about doing. The old school arcade games, they're all CRTs. My dad works on CRT. He started working on CRT TVs way back in the 70s, 80s. And then that's where he started collecting arcade games. And now we've got, we're doing a business with it too. I'm starting to put stuff online now we're going through and we're repairing them one by one because every one of them, the CRTs need new caps and they need various little things to fix them up and make them, you know, 100%. So if somebody bought them, they wouldn't go out on them quickly. But doing some repairs on those and whatnot. There are no parts anymore. Well, lucky for me, I have the parts. They still make cap kits, capacitors that work for them, which is mainly what needs to be done on a lot of them. And then we've probably got, God, probably half as many monitors out, like extra monitors that are good and working than what we have arcade games. And then all the arcade games have monitors in them already. So if they just absolutely needed a new monitor, we have a monitor for it. I can guarantee you that. I have sitting over there in just rows and rows and rows is probably 75 monitors stacked up and out. We work on them. So we work on arcade games. I sell clothing. I get into all kinds of stuff. This is why I named the channel Joseph's Bizarre Adventures, because I just don't know where to go with the channel. I don't know what to do with the channel where it'd be interesting for people to want to watch it. They still make caps? Yeah, they make caps. They still make caps for them. You can buy caps for them. You can buy flybacks. You can buy caps. You can buy everything that you need to repair them. Did I hit women's or men's? I hit men's jacket. This is a women's jacket. This is an ancient. I'm surprised this is buried in the bottom of my pile of stuff. This is an ancient Patagonia windbreaker. It's probably from, like, judging by the tag on it, it doesn't even have a style number. I bet you it's probably at least the 80s, maybe 90s, the way the tag looks. Maybe 90s, but I think it's probably going to be 80s. Yeah, they still make caps, they still make flybacks, they still make all the parts that I would need. Buttons, and we held on to. We've got you pooped and peed while watching this, gang. That's amazing. Welcome back, Johnny Appleseed. I remember you. I remember you. I hope you subbed, because I'm gonna try to do a giveaway if we ever make it to 500 subs. I'm gonna give away some of those little tiny figures that I throw into all my packages. I'm gonna give away like a 5-pack of those. I'll send them anywhere inside the US. Yeah, thanks for coming back, dude. I really appreciate it. Hey, if you're just tuning in, make sure you give me a like, because it makes, that's what YouTube does these days. It's what the algorithm wants, is they want more likes on something, then they send more people to that video. So if you ever want to get to the point where we can give away something, you gotta like the video so we can get to 500 subs. I'll, without a doubt, leave a like. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, fam. I really do. You guys are awesome. I don't get out very much with the kiddo and all, and having the business, and just being pretty introverted these days. I used to be a car salesman. Used to sell cell phones. Used to do a lot of stuff, and I really appreciate it. I think we will too. But I don't know. That much dealing with civilization for that long kind of made me a shut-in, so I haven't gone out too terribly much lately. And it's cool to talk to people like you guys. You guys are cool. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy having some sort of run-in with civilization and talking to people besides at the old Walmart, you know. Assemble in Colombia. This is not that old then. It must be like 90s. Because I think they did everything in the U.S. in Patagonia for a long time. Thinking of making Joseph's. Hey, dude, if we get to that point, I'll buy the plushes from you, dude. I'll get you to design everything. If we can get to the point where I can, like, sell my own merch like that, I'll enlist you, my guy. I promise you that. I won't forget. I want to, I don't know why I'm not wearing one now. I always have on a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure t-shirt. I'm gonna pick me some more up when I go to Japan this coming up. That's another thing we're gonna do. We're gonna go to Japan, and I'm literally going to Japan for an entire month and exploring all of Japan from February the 3rd to March the 3rd. And I want to make content doing that, but you kind of have to have a following before people want to start enjoying, you know, like coming back and watching for that kind of stuff. But I want to document that whole trip and maybe even do some live streams while I'm there. And we're taking the little dude, so we're taking my 1-year-old. That's going to be fun. Good 14-hour flight. Hurry part. Hey, that'd be cool. I didn't take any measurements for this one. What kind of a toy would it be? What are you thinking? What would fit? What's everybody else up to tonight as well? Just hanging out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to figure out what I need to. If you're watching this after the fact, for some reason, nobody ever does. If you're watching this after we stream here, like, leave me a comment. What should I do? I have hundreds of arcade games that I could work on. I could do videos on the arcade games. I could do videos of like gameplay on the arcade games. I could do. I do no matter what. I want to do the 3D printing and painting on the weekends. And like I said, I want to get to the point of where if I have enough subscribers and enough people come hang out and I can make $1 or $2 off ad revenue, I'll just give away whatever we paint. You know, whatever you guys give me some input in on what you liked, what colors you want it to be and this and that. And then after it's over with, I'll just get on Streamlabs, they have like a giveaway thing where all I have to do is if you commented on the video, it keeps up with everybody who commented, and it'll randomly pick one person, and then you win. I'll hand whatever we painted to you. You don't have to pay anything. I'll send it to you in the mail and everything. I already, you know, I send out tons of stuff during the week anyway to everyone who buys all my stuff, so it ain't no thing for me to send one more thing in the mail. You know, it only cost me like $5-6 to send it, depending on where you are in the US, and then, you know, it didn't really cost me. I have so much resin. I've spent so much money on that stuff. It's crazy. You know, we get into some pretty big, cool stuff too. But I think that would be neat. I don't need any of it. It all just collects dust for me. And it seems like everyone likes to ask me if I sell stuff while we're doing it. Well, then bam, there you go. You can have a chance to get your own, you know. But I gotta get, if we get to 500, if you're just tuning in, please like and subscribe. You don't have to subscribe, but please like. That way it'll bring more people in here. But if I get to 500 subs, I'm gonna give away some little gachapons that I made. There's like 20 different types, 27 different types that I've got so far, and I'm always adding new ones. They're little tiny crocodiles, Bulbasaurs, little Pokemon, all kinds of stuff like that. They're resin printed, different colors. But if I get to 500, I'll give away a 5-pack. You don't have to pay anything at all. You just, as long as you're inside the US, which I hate it outside the US, people, we gotta get a little bit more before I can send it outside the US. But I can send it anywhere inside the US. So make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe! And help a brother out, because I'm trying to do something here. I want to give out stuff for free. I gotta get another bin. Everybody hang on, I gotta get another bin. I gotta get something to put this in. Does anyone know what that's from? I clean out the battery, acid out of the compartment. Yeah, I've done that a few times, dude. I bought some cool little toys that people threw away because they thought were no good anymore. Yeah, what do you use? I use vinegar. It works out really good. And you have to do that if these boards, a lot of these old boards, they'll have those old lead acid batteries on them. It'll eat away if they've been on there for any amount of time. I've had to go through and clean them off, and then you have to even sometimes redo the traces on them if they've killed any traces. AJ0142. I think I took all the pictures I was supposed to take. There's 17. I hope so. AJ0142. Fan used Vange. Dog, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what you mean by that. You're gonna have to alliterate. You're gonna have to alliterate. What did I tell you guys that was? AJ0142. I appreciate you guys coming and hanging out. I am working right now and it's super boring. I sell clothes for a living. If you want to check out my clothes, they're in the link in the description. If you want to like and subscribe, I hate to keep saying this if you're hanging out with me and being cool and staying here, but every time, the way this thing works, people blaze in and out, they leave and they go and this and that, so I have to keep saying this crap. But if you like and subscribe, forget the 500 subs, I'm going to give away some little gachapons that I made. I 3D printed. Oh, Timmy, it's Timmy. Haha. I've had this for way too long. I got this from a yard sale like a year ago. I'm trying to get through some of my old inventory because I gotta pay some bills. I got some bills coming up at the end of the month. They're gonna absolutely massacre my butt if I don't get on with it and actually do some stinking work. But I want to build a channel at the same time, and I figured, you know, hey, it's like you guys are coming by, like you're my buddy, and you came by and visited me at work, right? That's what I look at it as. You come chill out and talk to me and keep me company, because right now for me it's 9:22 p.m. and I'm gonna try and go till probably 3 or 4 in the morning because I really got to make some money, and I've got a lot of inventory I've got to go through. I've got probably maybe 1,000 pieces of clothing that I have been stupid enough to buy without getting everything online. Speaking of, if you're ever been considered getting into, I saw Joseph. If you're ever considering getting into, that's funny, Block. If you ever consider getting into selling things on eBay, like clothing and whatnot, everyone on YouTube will tell you, they'll tell you not to buy and buy and buy things and create what they call debt piles. And you should totally listen to them, because I did not, and it's not a good thing to do. So now I've got a bunch of crap that I don't need. It's not crap, it's good stuff, but I've got a bunch of stuff that I don't need, that other people need, but I don't have the time to put it all onto the internet. And it's boring. Yeah, it's boring. It's super boring to do this. That's why I'm streaming. I'm trying to find some people, you know, like people like Buck here to talk to and hang out with. eBay has free, yeah, they do have fees. eBay's got some fees, I'm gonna tell you that right now. They feeing my butt to death. But what are you gonna do, dude? They're the biggest platform out there. Facebook's got feeds. I just started selling on Facebook recently. I started cross-posting just a little bit to Facebook, and I have to say, the fees are a pinch better, but I hate cross-posting. It just takes so much time to do that. I have sold a couple of things on Facebook Marketplace. It's really weird. I've sold a couple of things on Facebook Marketplace, but they're all local, and everybody paid shipping. I don't know what the deal with that was. I guess it just shows you locally a lot. I don't know why they wouldn't just hit me up and meet me locally, but I appreciate the business either way. Sold some Patagonia stuff. It's worth it with selling on eBay just because I get so many. I made like, I mean, it's not a lot of money. It's not a whole lot of money, and I didn't make all of this money. Like a lot of it, percent went into fees, percent went into shipping, percent went into buying this stuff. But I think last year I made like 40 something thousand dollars on eBay selling clothing. It's not, I mean, I didn't make that much. I probably made 20 something thousand dollars after it was all said and done with buying the stuff, putting it on there, plus all the time it took me to do all that stuff. And, you know, I didn't go at it as much as Etsy does not have fees. I doubt that. Are you 100% sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure Etsy has fees. And a problem with Etsy is they're not as big on clothing, and they're getting overrun by China. China is destroying Etsy. Instead of it being for like homemade things and different stuff like that, they sell mass-produced stuff from China on there now, and it is absolutely killing the market. Huh. Well, I didn't know that they didn't have any. Well, that's something to keep in mind, at least to say. Well, if they do that, I can put these yeah, the art. I can put the 3D paint, the stuff we paint, I can put in my Etsy. Right now, I'm just doing eBay because it's all I know, man. It's all I know. It's all I know. It's what I've been doing for 2 years, is pretty much mainly eBay. Mainly eBay. And I have yet to sell any of my painted 3D printed things. I've also yet to list any of them, but you know, that's neither here nor there. Bop, 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 bop. I'm amazed at how little people care about Columbia stuff. That is surprising to me. I always thought Columbia made some really good stuff. I always bought their stuff. I'd pay way too much money in the store for it, but it really just isn't. I know, I need to do the... Well, see, that's the problem. I'm going to tell you what the problem block is with the 3D printed furry stuff. From my understanding, what has been... The knowledge has been imparted upon me, you really have to be in the know on that kind of stuff. Like, you gotta... It's custom-made stuff, as well as... You kind of have to be a furry and be in those circles to get in to want to have people want to actually buy stuff from you. That's what my brother is saying, who is a furry and who makes furry suits. Fur suits. That's what he's telling me. He's saying, you know, he's got people that want to pay him big money to do that stuff. But he's also a furry, and he's also in all of those circles, and he does VR chat and hangs out with all those people, and they're the ones asking him. Whereas people don't just go out and say, well, I'll buy it from some random person on the old eBay. Plus, you got to make it like specific to their personas and all that stuff, and I just don't, you know, I got no problem with it. You do what you do, you know. That's your prerogative. That's your thing. Feel free. I'm into a ton of stuff that I'm sure a lot of people aren't into. I just personally, I'm not a furry. I've never really been into it. I'll put it to you this way. I don't really play. I'm really kind of boring at the moment. I'm just trying to. I guess it's really since I had my kid. I've started being really boring since I had my kid. I guess it's the dad thing, where it's just like I can't think of anything. All the pain and the anxiety and the constant driving force that I used to have in things that I like to do is just like pretty much poured all into, I've got to do stuff to try and make money so that I can support my kid. Because diapers are crazy expensive. They're driving me nuts. That, and we want to do things. I want to take my kid out. I want to go to Japan. I want to take my kid to Japan. Well, I'll tell you, I am really into Japan, and I'm into learning Japanese. That is something that I haven't put into the side. I want to live in Japan one day if I can make it far enough and do enough to like build my own business, because you can't live over there and work in Japan. It doesn't work. Well, I appreciate it, man. I really do. You know, hopefully I don't bore some more people and some more people want to come by and like and subscribe and hang out with me and help me grow my channel to the point of where I could do something like that, like just live in Japan and do crazy stuff over there, like buy and fix and sell arcade games and bring them back to the US. That's what I'd love to do. That would be my absolute dream job, if I could get to the point of where I could go over to Japan, hunt down like rare arcade games, import them back to the US, and fix them up and make a little like Japanese import arcade. That would be flipping awesome. I would love that. I already have the place. I mean, this is an old skating rink, and there are hundreds of arcade games out here already for me to go through and repair and whatnot. But I don't know. I'll tell you this for anybody watching. I mean, tell me what you think, because I have on multiple occasions. I have tried. I've like set up the tripod out there. The camera that it's on right now is an AI tracking tripod that like follows me around and like yeah, well, you know, but maybe one day. But I've set up stuff in front of the all the arcade games, and no one stays. No one cares about arcade games. Nobody cared about me being out there on a skate floor that was just totally full of arcade games. Nobody cared about that at all. I did get a few views. I'll tell you, I did get a few views on I have an old Neo Geo beside me over here that's my personal one. We're not going to get rid of it. I'm going to keep it because I've got a ton of Neo Geo carts for it and cool stuff like that. But I did play Drift Out one day on there, and Neo Drift, and people did like it. People did hang around, and not a lot of people talked, but they did come hang out and watch me play. But like I said, that still goes back to like the driving force of, if I don't have like stuff going on, people aren't interested in it. Because I'm doing this partly, one, I want to talk to people like you, Block. I do enjoy talking to you, and anyone else wants to come hang out. But I am trying to do something to where I can eventually one day in the future, not ask for donations or anything like that, but monetize it. Like actually be able to get money for views or something off of it and treat it as like a secondary form of income on top of me doing like my little business here, so it like all adds up and I can pay my bills. Because at the moment, it's the perfect candidate. I don't have an actual real job. AJ0140. Oh no, that's the wrong one. I threw it in the wrong one. I don't have a real job. Like I do this for a living, but maybe, you know, I'm not even really saying like necessarily, thanks for stopping by, Just Mods, but I'm not even necessarily saying like memberships. I don't really want to gatekeep the content. Like I'd really just want to be able to have a small one. It would drive some amount of traffic to my eBay store, so that I would be able to gain some amount of at least free advertisement off of that portion of it. And then two, just like after you get to 1,000 subs, you can be monetized, you know, where I can just be monetized and get a little bit of money off of that, off of the ad rolls for anyone who watches ads. I don't want to gatekeep. I don't like the memberships thing. I don't like paying monthly. Personally, I don't like paying monthly for stuff like that. I don't necessarily think there's anything wrong with it, but I think it would gatekeep me from being able to talk to a large variety of people like I really want to, because I like to talk to. Yeah, I like talking to everybody. Like I've been in here, you know, I've never had like an insane amount of people hanging out all at once, but I've had people from like Ukraine, I've had people from Russia, I've had people from Bosnia, I've had people from all over the world come in here and hang out and talk, and I just think it's really cool to like talk to those types of people and have content to show, you know, what we do over here, what I do down in the deep south compared to, you know, where you are, wherever you are, you know what I mean? That, and I'd like to do cool stuff like just, I always think it'd be cool to like be able to watch somebody's stream and like I was talking about earlier with like, I like the 3D print. I have a video on there where the other day, that's where Bluck came in and hung out, where we painted 3D printed figures that I had made. I airbrushed them, hand airbrushed all of them. And I'd like to just give those away. Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't want to gatekeep from anybody. I don't want to, I don't want anybody to not be able to come hang out or have to pay monthly. I think at this point in time, I don't know, you tell me, I think I'm paying monthly for enough things that I don't want to pay monthly for something else. If you want to buy something, or you want to support me in some way where you get something out of it rather than donating or paying for a membership, is membership. Yeah, I understand. I understand the reasoning behind it, Just Mods. I really do, and I don't. Like I said, I'm not bashing anybody who does it. I think it's definitely a viable thing. I'm not even aiming to make a ton of money off of it. Just some amount. Like I said, I do this eBay store right now, and if it gives me advertisement for my little eBay store, or like I said, I could make. I want to 3D print like little. I do 3D print. I'll bring them out real quick. But like, we printed and painted these on stream the other day, and I made this. Like, I found the model, I bought the model from a guy, and then I wired him up and soldered everything together and made his eyes a certain way to where they were translucent and everything. And like, I want to be able to, if everybody wants to come hang out and chill and whatnot, just to be able to give something like that away, that everybody had some sort of an input, like a community thing. Everybody had the input on the colors and what they wanted it to look like, and then somebody at the end of the day watching it would be able to just get that. I think that would, like, I'm not trying to get rich off of it or anything like that. I don't really have to make a ton of money. Yeah, I know if people would have, like, I was thinking about that. We were talking about this, right? Me and my wife were. Because she said the same thing about, like, memberships if we get to that point. But it's like I said, I think, I don't know, I don't feel necessarily good about donations. And I don't necessarily feel good about, like, memberships. Because I think a lot of people spend, not for me to tell you what to do with your money, but I don't want you to have to spend money to feel like, like you act like you have to spend money. And I'd like you to get something out of it at least. If you want to patronize me, like I said, I did come up with these, and I'm thinking about, tell me what you think, and I'll be totally honest and transparent. Tell me what you think it would be worth to you for something. We were talking about, as long as it covers your time. Yeah, that's what matters. I was thinking about, like, I made these gachapons. Like, I have these little balls, and I've got tons of different types of them, tons of different colors. I've already printed up like 27 different types of them, and in all kinds of different colors. But I printed all these little figures that a couple of my favorite artists online, they came up with the actual models, and I 3D printed all of them. But I was thinking, like, I'm not thinking, I've actually made the listing for it, but tell me what you think the price should be, because I don't know. Yeah, I'll bring the 3D prints back over. Give me a sec. We've got this guy. I'll show you this up close in just a second. This guy. This guy. I do more colors than just green. I just ended up grabbing the green. These got to be painted. We'll do those on stream later. This fella. And I got a purple guy too. Where's he at? Oh, there he is. But like these, right? I thought about maybe we give, if I get to this point, like, this would be like future stuff, right? So, like, I'd really enjoy 3D printing and airbrushing paints. These have eyeballs. I've got to print them separately, and I'm gonna make them translucent like I did these guys, and I'm gonna wire them up. And I've got this base I've designed for them to sit on, to where I can actually put a little battery sled for AAA's in it, so they can be changed out easily, and they're not just a hole in the bottom of it and whatnot soldered together. But like, maybe we paint a bunch of them on stream, and I give one away, and then the rest of them I'll put up for sale. And anybody who liked that stream or wanted that thing, they can buy it off of there. That would be worth it for my time, as well as I wouldn't have to gatekeep with a membership. And then I also have the tiny ones, the little tiny gachapons, right? They're a half inch, but I've got, well, I put it to you this way, they're these. They're these, except for I've got these are just bigger one. I made them bigger when I did them. These are teeny tiny ones of these, the same detail and everything. They're just in like, they're solid instead of being hollow like these, and they're in translucent resin and different colors and stuff like that. But I made like a little listing for like 5 of these, and it'd be random because there's 27 different models. I like a random 5 of them, like a gachapon, like mystery grab, right? I really appreciate it. We printed these on, or we painted these on stream. Bluck helped paint, like he picked the colors for this one right here. You know, so that's another thing about it is I think it's really cool that like you get to put in input on you know what goes on. I think that's really, it's like this a little bit more unique than what you normally see on streams and stuff. But I was thinking about if somebody, instead of wanting to just the smaller ones, like I'm thinking a 5-pack, what how much for a 5-pack including shipping? Because like shipping anywhere inside the US is going to cost me $5. Like you can almost guarantee it, it's going to cost me $5 for what I have to do. And they cost me all together to make 5 of them, including the and this isn't counting the amount of time it takes to make them. And what's up, normal kid? Welcome back. Oh, the amount of time it takes to make them, the amount of effort I have to put into that. There's stuff that goes into that, but I can make a bunch of these all at one time, right? But I was thinking about, instead of somebody wanting to donate, don't donate, just buy like a 5-pack of these and I'll send them to you in the mail. You know what I mean? What would be it'd be sort of like a dono / you get something out of it. You actually get a mystery pack of 5 of these, and we can just keep adding and adding and adding models to it, right? Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. I know I need to make TikTok, but I don't have a TikTok, right? I don't have the TT word right now, just because I'll be honest with you, and I won't get all into a long tangent with that. Like, I want to stream too and talk to other people, because I feel like I get caught way too long on my phone watching these shorts and stuff. I want to give back instead of consuming for once, and get into the community. You know what I mean? You think 10? You think 10 blocks? That's the only problem with that block is I'm paying like 6 at least to get them to you, and then whatever fees, whatever the marketplace is, right? So I'm making like $2 at the end of the day. USPS is making all the money. I think it's high, but I was thinking 20 shipped. Like 20 including shipping, and you get a 5-pack of mystery. And you can get as many as you want for $5 shipping. Like you can buy another 5-pack for let's say 15 or whatever, and keep buying them and put them on top of it. But I know it's a little high. That's the only thing about it, is I've got to get that. If I had these other, if we can get to the point of where I can get some subs in here and I can make a little video doing it, I can make these flipping printers go. I have 3 gigantic wide format printers. Or 420. Blaze it, buddy. But I've got 3 gigantic wide format printers that I could crank these puppies out, and I could probably do them for like 10 and still make a decent living off of them. But I'll show you these printers real quick. I bought these for $250. This one and this one. You see how big they are. And then there's another one in the floor over there. But I'm gonna have to, these are my printers I actually use now, and then I got one under there that I'm gonna fix. But I'm going to, this is my little workstation of where I paint stuff. That's where I was painting stuff the other day. But, and then I guess since we're already up and I'm showing you stuff, there's a small glimpse of a bunch of pool tables that we have laid over, a couple of air hockey tables, and then it's hard to see, but just that's the first row of arcade games. and they go on and 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 on, way over there. And then there's like 6 or 7 more rows of arcade games behind them. So I've got some arcade games I could do some videos on, that's for sure. I just got to figure out what, you know. Dog, I've got, if you like those arcade games, so you're a mod for several channels. I have to get into TikTok, don't I? I have to get into TikTok. You know, it's one of those things. I just feel old, dude. I feel old when I get into TikTok. I feel like I feel like I'm getting into. Yeah, you think people like watching arcade? See, I didn't get anybody on here watching the arcade game stuff. Yeah, I do need to get into TikTok. I'm gonna have to make one, dog. But yeah, they've got, I don't know if you were in here earlier when I was talking about it. That's a old skate floor that we've turned into a warehouse now. We've still got all the skates and everything too, but there's probably 300 arcade games out there. They're all ours. They're my father's and I, and my brother. It is a business that we're trying to do, but I'm failing horrendously at doing it at the moment because I haven't. I don't know. We got to do some repairs on some of them. And I don't know. I'm just at the point where I'm at right now where I'm like, I'm having to do this business I've got right now selling this clothes online because it is paying me some amount of money at the moment, but I got to make money. I don't want to go back. Oh, God, that didn't feel good. I need myself. Oh, that sucked. I don't want to go back to work on a 9 to 5 job, right? Like, that's what I'm trying to avoid. I'm 31. Ever since I went into the Army when I was 16 years old. I left when I was 17. I didn't make it through that because I have back problems I didn't realize I had until I got in there. I've got scoliosis. Got out of it and started, laid around for like 6 months in depression because I thought I was going to do the rest of my life in the Army. And then, you know, not to give you my whole life story here, but I went from that into selling cell phones, right? And then from there, and you know, even before that, I worked at the skating rink for my parents for years and years and years and years and years before that, ever since I could flip and walk pretty much. But I've just always had a 9 to 5, right? And like, I've always had people tell me all the time in all of these jobs that I've worked, they're like, dude, you need to work for yourself. You need to be your own boss. Cause I always end up making it into management where I'm at. I always end up managing people. I've always into all kinds of stuff like this, right? Where I'm like printing, 3D printing stuff or painting stuff or messing with these arcade games or all these things to where it's like, I don't know. I feel like I can do something for myself instead of having to work 9 to 5. I don't want to go back to like the last job I had that I really had before all this was I sold BMWs, right? I sold BMWs down at BMW Mobile, if you want to look it up, in South Alabama. Dog, I still use Facebook as my main app as well. But they'll get you on there too. You end up watching reels on Facebook. You know, I might as well just make a dang TikTok at this point. But I don't know. I've worked for like when I was working at BMW, I got up every morning and I went in I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning. It took me an hour and like 10 minutes to get there because I had to drive across this gigantic bay. And I would work from 7 a.m. to I would get home at like 10 and 11 o'clock at night sometimes. Like I would get back super late, and I made crazy money doing that. But I had no freaking life. Like I pulled in like $15,000 almost one month, and it just, like, I've pulled in a crazy amount of money doing that, and I hated it. I hated every second of it. I hated having, like, I didn't get to spend any time with my wife. I didn't have a kid at the time, but now if I did that, I wouldn't get to spend any time with my kid. And I just, I want to do something for me. I want to work for myself. I don't want to work for somebody else. I think I'm capable of doing it, right? And I have all of this stuff, dude. I've just been so blessed to where I've got this gigantic warehouse full of arcade games. I've got this business I've started with all these. It's just not, the only thing with this is not doing so fantastic right now. But all this clothing stuff, selling clothing, I've really gotten into that. I've really learned how all that works, and I've really gotten like fashion heavy on what like people really enjoy these days or what they're looking for online. And I don't know. I just don't want to go back, man. I don't want to go back from there. I want to go somewhere with it. And I'd like to, I don't, it's not necessarily, like I said, I think earlier, it's not necessarily for, like, I don't want fame and I don't want a bunch of notoriety. I'm not like a, oh, come watch me kind of person, but at the same time, like, I do like talking to people. I like being able to share experiences with other people and get other people's opinions and input on things that I don't get a whole lot of that now working for myself, because I'm stuck in this dungeon taking pictures of these clothes all day to put onto the internet. That's why I'm kind of getting into this space of like trying to do something on, and like you said, you said Facebook's your main app of the, same with YouTube. Like I'm so old school that I think YouTube's the thing you ought to get onto to like start a channel and stuff. But like I said, I know the yeah, well, I do sleep in a bit right now, but the problem is I also go to bed at 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm having to sit right now. I'll put it to you this way. Yeah, see, that's kind of where I'm at right now is, well, if you noticed, and I'm sure you have, you probably found this on YouTube Shorts. I absolutely hate portrait mode streaming. Like, I can't stand it this way. I'd way rather have it turned to landscape. I'd rather have more, like, more room to be able to put like a little thing of, this is what I painted last, this is what I'm going to paint next. Just all together, I like landscape streaming more, but you can't do that on YouTube. Yeah, chat and everything else. You have to do portrait or you will not get anybody. I've tried. You have to do portrait streaming or you will not get anybody on YouTube. Nobody will stop in there. You have to have a base already. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you have to have a base already to do landscape streaming. I can sleep in a bit block. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna sleep anytime soon from now, unfortunately. I've got to spend time doing this. I got to spend time. This is the hanging out with you guys one thing. It's like I think at this point, but this is I have to step all night long doing this. I figured, might stream it if I'm gonna have to do it anyway. I'm lagging right now. It's weird. It's not lagging on mine. Let me see. Crap. Give me a second. Let me check just the voices. Let me listen to it and see. Is it still lagging? Because I can go check. I'm streaming off Streamlabs. I can go check see if I can drop in if it's a bad connection or whatever. Because that'll kill a stream. Nobody gets to stop by and listen to somebody lag for 45 minutes. Or in my case, several hours, because I'll be here for hours now. I have the latency on low latency because I've found that obviously people don't. You want to talk back and forth to me. I don't want to. If you have too much of a delay between it, nobody's going to want to hang out and chat. But I have good internet. I've got like 100, at minimum 100 meg down. It's supposed to be higher than that, but at minimum it's usually 100 meg down. Let me see real quick. Give me a second, guys. Oh, somebody took back their like. I was checking to see if it's one or whatever. Yeah, I've been told now too. I think it's another thing that I found on here. What I've been watching everybody talk about online is the likes mean more than subs at this point. About getting people in, especially for live streams. I wonder if this is a dude small. Yeah, I think it's a dude small. Check it out and see. Check it out and see, just mods, and see if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. Tell me if it's lagging, because if it is, I can go check and see if there's. The setup I've got here is wild. It's wacky. I've got an old cell phone. I've got an old iPhone on a tripod. Actually, a Flow 2 Pro over there, and I've got. I'm actually streaming through Camo Cam. Dang, it's still doing it. Let me check real quick. Let me check my thing and see if I can draw. It's super weird, guys. It says the stream's good quality on the other end. Obviously, you can tell me if it is or it isn't, but tell me if it sounds bad. Am I glitching around? Is it lagging? Because if it is, I might. As much as I hate to do it, I might have to cut the stream and cut it back on. So we do already have like 13 whole likes on this. Oh man, it's not good. It's just the audio. Let me try this. Let me try this real quick. Let me plug up my phone. Is it my Camo Cam? Could be Camo Cam. Because I'm streaming through Camo Cam and I'm using the audio through Camo Cam. And this phone is getting pretty hot. Let me change the audio source. All right, is it still bad? Is it getting in here? Is the music still lag? So if the music is lagging, it's not going to be camo cam. Yeah, is it fixed? Let me do a little. I gotta talk a little bit more and try it that way. Is it better? No, I can see myself lagging. I see myself occasionally lagging. Oh, it's frustrating. Well, should I reset the stream? I really don't know any other way to go about it. That's about all I have to do on that. I only got like 5 people watching. If you guys want to maybe getting high ping. I really shouldn't have high ping, unfortunately. Fortunately, I have wired fiber internet. I have a good connection. It's plugged up via. All right, I'm gonna reset it, guys. Give me a second. If y'all want to come back out with me, come on back in just a second. I'm gonna restart the stream on a new stream. See if this fixes. Yeah, let me try a new stream. I'll be right back.